We all know why you're here, so let's just get right into it. First up, we have the newly announced Station to Station, a beautiful and relaxing game about building railway connections. It's coming to PC sometime this year and will have you building your own transportation empire in no time. Inspired by games like Mini Metro, Train Valley, Dorfromantik, and Terra Nil, players can choose to keep things relaxed or take a more strategic approach and try to beat their high score. In Station to Station, your world starts small with a handful of rural structures. Place stations and create connections to foster growth and expansion. As you keep building, color will return to the game's different biomes and new plants and animals will make their home amidst the valleys and mountains. I am all aboard with this one. And if the devs at Galaxy Grove are listening, first-person conductor mode. Just think about it. We don't know much about this next game, but we do have a bit of background info on its story. Synth Hunters is a wacky cyberpunk open-world-ish RPG. The project currently isn't in full production as the game's creator doesn't yet have the resources to fully start that process. But here's the game's backstory. For centuries, the synth, which is an artificial intelligence, dominated the planet using humans as their entertainment by forcing them to fight to death in the arena. But behind the synth's backs, a group of rebels plotted a revolution that finally broke their chains, allowing them to escape to all corners of the continent. Lots of small settlements formed, in the deep forest, abandoned cities, and frozen deserts. To survive, humans will have to venture into the wilderness to gather resources by fighting fierce creatures, other rebels, and the AI robots lurking around trying to hunt them down. Synth Hunters does have a Discord server you can join, so you can be the first one to catch the game's latest updates. Next up, we've got a sequel. ARKOS 2 is a first-person fantasy shooter with destructible voxel environments, inspired by the classic shooters of the 90s. I never played the first game, but this one is definitely a visual upgrade, especially with that beautiful lighting. The Steam page for this one just went up a few months ago and will have players returning to fight the ancient evil in the land of Twilight. ARKOS 2 will be split into 5 episodes filled with boss encounters, fantastical weapons, some puzzly stuff, and of course, everyone's favorite retro action. And now it's time to relax and unwind with Unmurk. It's a pretty interesting puzzle game where you only see the outer edges of the puzzle. Put the puzzles back into place to reveal a hidden voxel object. This one actually has a free demo up on Steam, and it was exactly what I was expecting. A puzzle game that's not too challenging, but is definitely relaxing. You could probably tell right away whether or not Unmurk is the kind of game for you. But if you like looking at voxels while listening to an ambient, futuristic soundscape, be sure to go check it out. Last but not least, we have Beta Decay, the game that inspired me to start this voxel game series back up. This one is pretty mysterious still, but the devs at Rotoscope Studios are starting to share a bit more about their dystopian cyberpunk city with us. Now, Beta Decay is definitely the most ambitious title on this list, but I do plan on watching it very closely. It takes place in a giant city filled with evil corporations, cybernetic enhancements, and lots of neon lights. Players can choose their own job and save up to buy an apartment, join one of 3 factions, or travel to space. We don't know how any of this is actually gonna look or work, but these teasers are enough to get me excited. And that does it. 5 upcoming voxel games to keep an eye on. Let me know if there are any cool projects I missed, and check these out for some more promising titles.